Well, tonight, Hayes has been
Cody, I might have just gotten my answer. No. Jason Ayers and say, are you kicked out? First 48.
Because
Hey, what's going on YouTube land? It's your boy TJ and welcome to my YouTube channel, Wrestling Nostalgia, where I get my reviews on the WWE shows and PLE events. And today we are going to be reviewing SmackDown April 26, 2024. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to go ahead and skip the interview segment with Paul Heyman and then the whole thing with them filming in NXT Performance Center. So we open up SmackDown with the contract signing between AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes, which is the WWE Undisputed Championship match that's going to be taking place at Backlash in Lyon, France. So they make their entrances, they come to the ring, and what's so crazy about the situation, Corey Graves is going to delegate this contract signing, which I thought it was going to be Nick Atlas, but hey, it is what it is. So AJ Styles say that, you know, he have a lot of respect for his father and everything like that. We both had similar pasts, but, you know, this is going to be a first time ever match between both of us. And this is when AJ Styles had kind of implied that Cody Rhodes can't really hold the weight of being the world champion. So this is when Cody Rhodes says, hey, you know, he does this whole stick about, what do you guys want to talk about? So then this is when he responds to what he says about the whole, oh, I think you're trying to imply that, you know, I can't carry the weight of the championship, but the person that trained me that's not too far away has told me himself that it's not about winning the championship, it's about keeping it. And he says at Backlash, he intends on keeping it. So this is when AJ Styles basically says that it was great to see that you finally finished your story, but your story is going to end at Backlash. So we're going to see what's going to happen between these two. And I'm not going to lie, I really seriously doubt that Cody Rhodes is going to drop his championship this soon in this run. Like, I would expect for somebody to win the Money in the Bank and then cash in on him and win it that way, then to beat him straight up, to be honest and be real. It's not going to happen. But anywho, this SmackDown is a rendition of the draft pick. And now the first round, it is Bianca Belair for SmackDown. It is Jey Uso for Raw. Then it's Carmelo Hayes for SmackDown. And then Seth Rollins for Raw. That is the first round of the draft pick. And we're going to see who the remaining draft picks are going to be throughout the night of SmackDown. In this next segment, it is Carmelo Hayes, and he bombards the whole draft segment. And he comes out and he says, yeah, when y'all want to talk about who's next, or who's the hottest, it don't get no better than Carmelo Hayes. So then this is when he turns his attention to Cody Rhodes. And he said, before he could even like begin the chant, the fans are chanting, whip that trick, whip that trick. He said, yeah, I already did. And I'm like, now Carmelo, we going to sit up there and rewrite history and act like you didn't get beat twice by Trick Williams.
Hayes has that chair. Hayes shoots. He missed. Trick shot connects. Williams, nothing but
Stop
net.
playing so much, yo. We're not going to rewrite history. We're going to act like we remember. Look, we know that Vince likes to go ahead and play delusional and act like, you know, rewrite history and, oh, this is a brand new person. Just speaking. They came from NXT. You're just trying to change it. But anywho, that's beside the point. So this is when he turns his attention to Cody Rhodes. And he says, you said that if you come for the king, you best not miss. But you know me. When I shoot, I don't miss. So I'm shooting my shot at you. Let's go at it tonight. So Cody Rhodes says, "Oh man, well I don't know. I mean, did y'all really want to see me in action tonight?" So everybody just started cheering. He's like he's scared or something. I'm like, ain't you the undisputed champion? Like, so he said, "What if I forgot my gear?" And I'm like,
girl.
"Now, Cody, we gonna play stupid." He says, "What if I forgot my gear?" You're a wrestler. You're supposed to stay ready so you have to get ready.
Stay ready so I don't have to get
Boy,
ready.
you better stop playing so damn much. Forgot your gear. So this is when he says, "You know what? That's why I ain't forget my gear. You're on." Now I'm all like, duh. Like, ain't you supposed to be a fighting champion? Yeah, we on tonight. Like, come on. Like, we gonna stop the semantics, but it's gonna be Cody and Carmelo Hayes later on tonight. I don't know if it's gonna be the main event or not, but hey, we're gonna see. And hey, I'm actually interested in the dynamics of Carmelo Hayes and Cody Rhodes, the WWE Undisputed Champion. In this first matchup, it is Legado del Fantasma versus Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. They had a pretty standard back and forth match, a lot of high flying back and forth from between both of the two teams, but Dragon Lee hits his finisher and he pins one of the members from Legado del Fantasma, and Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee are the winners. So the real development happened after the match, and then on top of that, the match only lasted like less than 5 minutes. It was crazy. Legado del Fantasma, like the rest of them, come out, which is Santos Escobar and Elektra. Santos says that he meant what he said when he said that he did not attack Dragon Lee before the night of WrestleMania. She worked for weeks investigating to see if she could confiscate the surveillance footage of what happened that day. And Santos Escobar says that Rey Mysterio, you're going to be very interested in seeing what's in these tapes. So they played the tapes on the Psychotron, and yes, it turned out to be none other than Carlito. I already done said that in previous videos that it is Carlito.
I knew it.
He looked so guilty when he thought it was going to be him replacing Dragon Lee as Rey Mysterio's tag team partner. He was all like, "Oh, I thought it was about to be me." You know, "Oh, yeah, you got this. So it was Carlito. Then I'm like, you might as well backstab him right now. What are you waiting on? This is when he pushes Dragon Lee into Rey Mysterio, and then he hits the backstabber, and then he gets out of there. He's the backstabber on Dragon Lee, and then he gets out of there. If I had to make a prediction, I do feel like it's going to be Dragon Lee versus Carlito, or it's going to be Carlito versus Rey Mysterio. Either one of these people are going to fight him at Backlash. I do want him to have a pay-per-view match, but we're going to see what's going to happen. To me, I'm going to be real. I have maybe a hot take. I really do want Carlito to win the Money in the Bank and cash in either, I don't care which champion it is, whether it be Cody or it be the world champion Damian Priest, because I feel like there's no point in him coming back to WWE just for him to come out empty-handed. Like, he already won the mid-card championships and the tag team championships. Let him be finally a Grand Slam and win one of the world titles. It's about high time. It doesn't have to be, right now, but he does have to win a world championship at some point, sometime soon. Definitely, because I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, his father never won the world championship. And that would be great for his legacy to say that, hey, I made it count this time. So we're going to see what's going to happen with these upcoming months in WWE as far as Carlito goes. And I would be very excited to see him be world champion, to be real with you. I really do want to see that man win. That's just me. That's my hot take. In this next matchup, it is Braun Breaker versus Cedric Alexander. I'm trying to figure out, wasn't Cedric paired off with Ashanti the Adonis? Like, didn't they had a whole thing where they were getting ready and coming up with their look and everything like that? Wasn't they supposed to be a tag team? Why is he wrestling single matches? And if he is, where's his tag team partner? Did y'all just drop that angle? Don't start doing that Vince McMahon stuff. Like, come on. Like, we were just getting, like, if you start something, finish it, okay? It was not a very long match. Braun Breaker probably did like 2, maybe 3 moves along with Cedric Alexander. He hit a spear, 1, 2, 3. That's it. That man does not work by the hour. Nick Atlas comes out of his office and he is bombarded by Tiffany Stratton. She says, did you see what I did out there last week when I took out Bayley and Naomi? Yeah, of course you did, because I'm the center of the universe and I want to know, where's my title match? Nick Atlas says, my watch is not set on Tiffany time. So, for that stunt you did, I was going to send you to the back of the line. But somebody convinced me of doing a better idea, to have you in a championship #1 contender match against Naomi. So, this is when Tiffany Stratton said, whose dumb idea was that? So, Bayley comes on and says, ding dong, hello, it was me. She said, I feel like it's a win-win. Because if Naomi wins, that means she gets the championship opportunity that you cheated her out of. And if you win, you get to find out what happens when you come at the role model. So this is when Tiffany Stratton says, I just have a Tiffany epiphany. So she says, how about you come out there tonight and you see what I do to Naomi, which you couldn't get done last week. And I'm like, now Tiffany, baby, we don't know what was going to happen last week because you interfered in the match. The match wasn't even over yet. Like, we don't know if it was going to be a count out or a DQ finish or you came out like, girl, we don't know if she was going to beat her or not, or vice versa. But hey, I guess everybody got lapse of memory. But this is when Tiffany says, yep, toodles. So we're going to see Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi a little later on tonight for a #1 contendership for Bayley's WWE Women's Championship. In this next segment, it is the draft picks, which are hosted by Tori Wilson and Michelle McCool. Michelle McCool is doing SmackDown, Tori Wilson Raw. So the draft picks for SmackDown, it is Randy Orton and Nia Jax. For Raw, it is Liv Morgan and Braun Breaker. In this next segment, it is Solo Sikoa, and he gets out the car. And I guess he's pissed because Paul Heyman didn't open the door for him. So he says, I'm so sorry, I didn't open the door for you. I'm going to make sure the next time that I'm going to open the door for you, what can I do for you, my enforcer? So, Solo Sikoa is pissed, and he says, so the bloodline isn't eligible for the draft lottery? So this is when he says, well, with you inviting all these new bloodline members, they don't know who they're going to get. So I guess that disqualifies them. So this is when his MFT comes out, a.k.a. Tama Tonka. And all of a sudden, KO comes out of nowhere and just was beating on him. Yo, I tell you, they really picked the right one, because KO definitely loves to fight, and he's not one to just be back down and just... He's going to continue fighting until he can't fight no more. In this next segment, the #1 draft pick, Bianca Belair, comes out. And Kayla Braxton asks her, how big of a moment would it be for you and Jade Cargill to win these tag team championships? Because as we know now, it is official. In Lyon, France, it's going to be Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus the Kabuki Warriors for the Tag Team Women's Championships. So she said it would be a very big moment for me because I never got closure with Damage Control, and that is the last piece of the puzzle to break up Damage Control once and for all. Are the Tag Team Women's Championships, and with everything that they have done to Bianca and the women's division, she owes it to Damage Control to take them out once and for all. And with everybody that ever tag team up with her, she never had anybody that was as impressive as Jade Cargill. And I have to agree, like, they look dominating. Like, if they do, not if, when they win those women's championships, best believe they're going to go on probably the longest reigning tag team championship run that the WWE have ever had, because I seriously doubt that they have anybody lined up for them as far as like to dethrone them anytime soon anyway. So we're going to see what's going to happen with that. But anyways, the Kabuki Warriors comes out, and of course they do. And this is when Jade Cargill comes out, and I meant to say this about Bianca Belair too. They both look amazing. Like, their leotard that they had on, oh my goodness, baby, chef's kiss. The body was given, okay? Love it. I really do. I love it, love it, love it. They come out and they jaw jack with each other, and then all of a sudden, here comes Kevin Owens, and he's beating up on Tama Tonga all through the arena. So then this is when Solo comes out to help his brother out, and he's like, they beating him down or whatever. So this is when Randy Orton comes out and evens the number. It was so funny because before Randy Orton came out, Tama Tonga was beating up on all the security guard, but I guess the official people, they was like, okay, let's not like touch on them because, you know, I don't want to, you know, ruffle no feathers, and I ain't trying to get fired. So they were just beating up on all the security guards though. So Randy Orton comes out and evens the numbers and was beating up on Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa. So then they all are just going combative, like everybody fighting everybody. It is crazy. In this next segment, it is the third round of the draft pick, which is hosted by the Dudley Boys. So Raw selects Ricochet and Sheamus. SmackDown selects the Bloodline and LA Knight. So the Bloodline consists of, so far, because remember, Roman Reigns is non-eligible to be picked. So it is Paul Heyman, Tama Tonga, and Solo Sikoa. So we have our number one contender match for the Women's Championship between Naomi and Tiffany Stratton. They had a pretty competitive back and forth match. It was crazy because Naomi already started off with a loose fast press, and she just was wailing in on her. And then they kind of go back and forth. And then I remember before the commercial break, Naomi do a split from the apron onto the floor onto Tiffany Stratton. And then this is what she gets on Tiffany Stratton and says, "Naomi time!" Say goodbye. So towards the end of the match, it looked like Naomi had this match full in hand, and then all of a sudden, Nia Jax comes out of nowhere, and she just attacks Bayley and just beating on her. So this distracts Naomi, and I'm thinking that Naomi was gonna lose right here and now, and then Tiffany was gonna take advantage, but that didn't even happen. What happened was she went out to try to help Bayley, but that doesn't work. She winds up hitting Naomi. So by disqualification, don't that mean that she's the number one contender? Like, I'm confused. Like, what are we doing here? We can't be throwing out matches, okay? Now, last week, that was understandable. That was a throwaway. But she only hits Naomi. So that means by technicality, she's the number one contender. So unless y'all about to do a triple threat match or a fatal four-way, I don't know what we are discussing. Nia Jax lays Naomi and Bayley out, and this is when Tiffany Stratton gets them back in the ring and then hits her prettiest moonsault again, and she is left standing in the ring once again. In this next segment, it is the fourth round of the draft picks, which are hosted by Teddy Long and JBL. Teddy Long is for SmackDown, JBL for Raw. So for the Raw draft picks, it is Kiana James and the Alpha Academy. And for SmackDown, it is AJ Styles and Andrade. In this next segment, it is Nick Atlas and Teddy Long. Nick Atlas says that he is super excited to see what the new recruits of SmackDown are going to bring. And he says that in a triple threat match for the Women's Championship, Bayley's Women's Championship, She's going to defend it in a triple threat match against Naomi and Tiffany Stratton at Backlash. This is when Teddy Long comes in and he says that in a tag team match, it is going to be the Bloodline versus KO and Randy Orton. So now we're here at our main event. It is the WWE Undisputed Champion Cody Rhodes in a non-title match versus Carmelo Hayes. They actually had a really stellar back and forth match with a little bit of hiccups here and there. I understand that it was probably like first time butterflies with these two guys because, you know, this is the first time with them wrestling together. I remember it was one part of the match where they both jumped on the ropes. I don't know if they were supposed to do like a clash in the middle or something like that, but it didn't work out in their favor. I think what happened was one of them jumped too soon or too late or something like that, and then they just flopped down. I was just like, what in the world? What's going on here? See, Carmelo, you need to stop doing high flying moves like that, brother man. But I remember it was one point in time where he did like the fall away DDT where he jumps on the ropes and then like the person I guess is like facing the opposite direction and then they just bam hits the DDT out of nowhere. That was really nice. And then Cody hits his Cody cutter. Like that looked so gnarly. I loved how he did it and how Carmelo Hayes sold it. He just hits face down and then like the way he just, I was like, oh my goodness, I loved it. But towards the end of the match, Cody Rhodes hits his crossroads. 1, 2, 3, he wins the match. And I don't know what the exchange was between them two, but he was kept like pushing them and doing all that. I was like, was he mad about the spot that the missed spot that he did when they was, I guess, supposed to clash like in the middle or whatever? I think that's what they were supposed to recreate the whole Royal Rumble thing that happened between Ricochet and Logan Paul. I remember that. But it didn't execute. So I don't know if he was scolding him about that, but it is what it is. So as Cody Rhodes is celebrating and everything like that, he turns around and there goes AJ Styles and they have a stare-off. So I don't know what's going to happen next week. We all know that their championship match is in France for the WWE Championship. I can't wait. It's going to be lit at Backlash. Anyways, how did y'all feel about SmackDown? I was okay with it. It could have been a little bit better, but it is what it is. But anywho's, y'all know how this go. Like, share, and subscribe. Help me build my channel and all that other good stuff. And peace. TJ, I'm out.